Well, welcome everybody to another live stream here. I'm Patty Serrano, going to be coaching a few people during this session, and they'll be coming in shortly. But I wanted to just do a couple things before we get started. And first of all, I'm in a hotel in California, and one of the things that's really exciting about my stay here is that I am going to do a lifestyle segment of what it's like to stay in a hotel for a couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. Let's bring in Joy. She's one of the ladies that we're working with on her business. Say hi, Joy.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm just getting started here and welcoming our guests. And we've got people saying hi. Let's show hi, Silver Parks RV. So I've been racing to get here today. I've got a lot going on with the family matters and all that. So it's nice to see a nice cheery face. And you missed last week. One of the things that was going to happen during this episode today is uh, I'm going to have to engineer this thing, and there's messages coming in of people that I've invited and all that. So just bear with me, everybody. I'll try to uh, you know do the logistics and all this. So and that's challenging when you're the trainer to have to be the engineer and the trainer. But I've done it before, so I can do it again. All right, Joyce, we didn't. Well, first of all, how are you? How's everything
Oh,
going?
excellent. Excellent. Another beautiful day.
It
Thank you.
is. And if you haven't watched the last episode of the Patti Serrano podcast, Joyce was our featured business of the week. And so many people have commented on your stuff and what an artisan you are. So
Oh,
it's
thank
nice
you. Thank you.
nice to be working with you on getting your business up. And we said at the end of the segment that Joyce is a startup, and so if you've got an idea or if you're thinking about starting something or, maybe just follow along in the future, you might want to do something. So it's really exciting, Joyce, to watch you grow. It really, really is. I've had this opportunity so many times in my career, uh, and think about it for just a moment. What it feels like for me. What it feels like for me is to see. It's like watering a plant, and then you see the plant just kind of come up through the earth, and then it has a stem, and then it starts flowering. That's what it feels like for me to
Oh,
watch these
that's great.
businesses grow. And so I was watching you, pop up through the earth now. It's amazing. But one
Thank
of the
you.
things that you didn't get the advantage of last week, and I wanted to just review this for a few minutes. And if anybody wants to type in any comments, please do. Or if you want to call in, I've put the number down there at the bottom. You're welcome to call in and we'll answer any of your questions. But the thing that I wanted to review is because, I have this whole manual of lessons. This is a year long program. This is one of them. I also have the quarterback mindset, which is a little bit different because that kind of got blurry there. You didn't really see it. But we took a lesson out of the Build My Empire last week to train people on how to picture your product. Like if you're in an elevator, it's like called the elevator pitch, and you have 7 seconds, from the florist to say something. What's so important to say? So why don't we do this? Let's start with. I'm going to give you 30 seconds, Joyce, and it's just kind of like it's a trial. And I know you got such a spirited attitude that you don't care if we go ahead and hear you, and then we'll add in the good parts and the bad parts. And that's one thing I like about Chat GPT. You go throw something over there, and they go, "Hey, good job on that," and then they go, "But you're also best served to add this, this, and this." I love that about Chat GPT because it's a growth thing. So I'm going to put my timer on, and whoops. Oh, Sharon's just saying, should I call in? Yeah, let's get her in here too because she did a really good one last week. So I'll just say yes here. All right, so let's get Sharon on the line. Okay, and let's go 30 seconds, and I'm going to start you. I've got my count up here. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Tell us.
Okay. Hi, I'm with Sunset Souls, and we have beaded jewelry and unique gifts that are created by good souls with great vibes. We have jewelry and necklaces that have sand and shells from the beach so that you can take back a piece of Oceanside with you. Also have big good sunflower earrings. That's terrible.
Yeah. Well, no, that's okay. No, okay, so stop right there. And that was 37 seconds. Okay. So let's, and Sharon just called in. Sharon did one of these last week over the phone. So hello, Sharon. You're here. She's here. Okay. So
I can use any tips.
We're going to give Joyce a couple tips on her pitch today, and then we're going to go on to a new training. Okay.
Good.
Okay. So, all right. So Joyce, this is a template that you're going to do. Let me get myself up here. It's just you on the screen. This is a template. It's a 4-part template. Okay. So when you come in, you only have 5 seconds to say your name.
Yeah.
5 seconds. You have 10 seconds to talk about Sunset Souls. See, so you took like about 20 seconds, but that's okay.
Yes.
We learned a lot about you. But see, when you're on one of these networking events, they only give you, 30 seconds. So you got to stand up, or 60 seconds. You have to stand up, do it, and then that's it. And then you've got about 15 seconds on the second most important part of this pitch is where you ask, now here's how you can help me. Now, in your case, I would say, I don't wear jewelry. That's not my style or something like that. But in your case, you can say, well, here's how you can help me. Do you know anybody that needs a gift? Or do you know any, so you don't ever talk to that person that's in front of you. You talk to their network. Okay. So like, for example, your big sunflower earrings, they might not be for everybody, but do you know somebody that does? Well, I happen to do know somebody that does. So I would be a client to buy those big earrings from you. And then the last thing, this is all 30 seconds now. You have 5 seconds to say, once again, I'm Joyce from Sunset Souls. And then you hold up your card. Let's get a card here. You hold up your card with Band-Aids, but then you hold up yep, there you go. I'm going to be over here, or here's my card, or whatever the scenario is. But you invite, at the last 5 seconds, you invite them to do business with you. So by holding up your card or holding it in here and having it available, you've just invited them to do business with you, because that card is your portal. That is your portal. It's got everything on it. It's got your address, email, all that, So that card is crucial to have at all times. In fact, I have 3 different ones. I'll show them to you. I have 2 boxes in my purse. So depending on who I'm going to talk to, that card is always with me. That is your business when you're doing stuff like when you're on the move. All right, so let's say hi to Sharon. Sharon, would you like to do another commercial for us since you were in the training last week?
Sure.
Oh, really? She said sure. All right, so no, okay.
It's hard.
Exactly. So let's do a refresher real quick. So the refresher is you have 5 minutes to say your name. You have 10 seconds to say your business. That's 15. You have another 10 seconds to say, here's how you can help me. Do you know anybody? Blah, 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 blah. And you have 5 seconds going out with your card that says, come do business with me. All right. So I'm going to time you now. On your mark, get set, go.
I'm Sharon, Designs Beale. Remember that name. And I design RVs for people, turning it into a home. I'm sure you've got people that we all get stumped. My hardest one is my RV. So any friends that are stumped, whether it's a room or a little area, send them my way. And I'm going to be where the beautiful flower bouquets are over there. Come and meet me. I'd love to talk to you. Grab a card and send that card off to your friend that needs help.
Ding, ding, ding. Oh my gosh, you did that in 30 actual seconds. Thank God we're recording this, because that was textbook. That was clearly textbook. She said,
You're a good teacher.
well, yeah, grounds on it. So she came and said, hi, I'm Sharon, da, 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 da. And, do you know anybody that needs my help? I mean, see, yeah. Now, in 30 seconds, she actually said she went out. Once again, I'm Sharon. I got my card. Come see me. She asked for business, and she did it all in 30 seconds, which is the hardest one to do. Now, if I give you 60 seconds, oh, yeah. Yeah, you can nail it. So you can, 60. You can say, oh, I got this, and I got the material, and I got blah, blah, blah. But in 30, you just nailed the hardest one. So that's good. So let's go and before we get into the next training, let's go give Joyce another chair.
Oh no. I want to
I
digest
knew
this
you were
and
going to
have
say
time to
that.
look it over, and I'll do it for you next week.
I knew you were going to say that. Okay, so I was
Yeah,
just
I'm not good right on the
I know,
spot.
I know.
I'll just be
I
like
hear
a blank.
Yeah, I just did that.
But I love that, Sharon. I totally understand what Patty's saying now,
Yeah,
after listening to you. So thank
yeah.
you, Sharon.
You did a great job, Sharon. All right, so let's go and just do some of the whys for some of the why we do it this way, and we'll go on to the next training. So the reason we do this, and you don't have this particular issue, but some people, Joyce, when they're out at and Sharon, when they're out at a networking event, they see that's their turn and it's coming around. You go, oh, and they start like zoning out and not listening to what the other people are, which is really not fair. But if you go into the networking with the chamber or a club or whatever, where you see it's coming around to your turn, you first of all move your chair back, because one of the most annoying things is a chair scraping against cement or wherever you are just kills your commercial. So you move your chair back. And like Ferris said last week, you might want, if you're a little bit nervous, which I don't think you guys are, but you can kind of rub your hands out on your knees. And as you're doing, or on your calves there, and then as you're doing that, you sing, "There's no business like show business." That you're singing in your head. Because what that does, it shifts up your energy, and you're going, okay. And I've seen people that have been in my training, actually, they go along and the person's boring, boring, boring. And then this person that's been trained to do the right kind of pitch, oh, wow. And they're just attracted to their business because of the way they pitched it. See, so that's why the shift of energy in singing, there's no business like show business. And like, again, I don't think you need it because you're already a little showgirl, Joyce, and Sharon is clearly a showgirl, but some people do. In this training, some people do. Okay. So that's the first thing you do. So when you stand up, and to do it, usually you have to stand up at a networking event or whatever, or even if you're in an elevator, when you stand up, you want your arms to go straight down. One of the things we said is, and with Ferris here, he's seen this many times, men have a tendency to put their hands in their pockets and then jingle around and move their hands around, and it's very distractive. So what I ask people is to just once you stand up, go into what's called the power position and put your hands right down at your side. And you can tilt, put one leg forward and talk to that part of the audience, the middle, the side. And if there's someone down next to you or this side, I always go, so they don't feel like they're being left out. I go, well, and then da-da-da-da or da-da-da. So talk to the whole room. Now, as you're talking to the whole room, remember that you don't want them to buy your product, these people that are in front of you. You want their network to buy their product. So because they have 6 people or 2 people or something. So if you're in the room with 30 people, no, you want to talk to all those other people out there. So this is why you say things like ask for help, like Sharon did. Here's how you can help me. Or do you know anybody that just bought a trailer that wants some color refreshing? Or do you know anybody that needs a gift? I've got great Christmas, or whatever the season is, you can go with, now we've got Valentine's Day or Christmas. Hey, maybe hold up some red earrings. Like, do you know anybody husband that needs to buy his wife a last minute Valentine gift? So use whatever time of the year it is and all that. And so that's going to be here's how you can help me. And the last thing is, I've seen this every time, you guys, is they're standing up and I call it the piddle. And then their mouth just goes, blah, 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 and they sit down and they're done. And I say, let's end it with a bang. Like in a commercial, they call it a sting. Like in a 30-second radio commercial, they call it a sting. So I say, let's go out with a sting. For me, I say, once again, I'm Patti with a, and then the whole room always says, Patti with an I. Boom, I nailed it. They know my name and they answer me. And I'm going to be right over here. I've got my cards and the program that I'm pitching this day, or the earrings, or whatever I'm pitching that day. And please come see me as you leave. So that's the importance of that last one. Think of it as a sting on the radio when they go out and go, bing, in the last 30 minutes, you get this, you want to do that when you're networking or in an elevator or wherever. Leave them with something. So each one of these 4 segments is actually pretty important. Yeah. They're all important, but that's what I say. Okay. So there we have our refresher course. If all of you those of you that watched last week, that we got into it a little bit. And I'm going to open up my journal. I've got something that I wanted to talk about today, but I want to ask you guys, is there any pressing business that you might want to ask me? Because all the years I've been doing business, I did it alone, and I always wanted someone that I could just bounce stuff by, and a lot of people paid me over the years as a trainer so they could bounce things by. We know Ferris, who was here last week, is 14 years of calling me and doing sessions by bouncing business ideas by. So there might be something you might want to ask right now, and just hold it for a second, because the training we're going to have is also really important, and we're counting down. Yeah, we're at, I'd like to do like 30-minute trainings, but we're counting it down. So let's go ask either one of you, is there anything pressing that you'd like to talk about in your business? Joyce, let's start with you.
Actually, not at this moment, but I'd like to hear what you have to say, but thank you.
Okay. What about you, Sharon?
Well, I guess my big thing is I'm not good at setting up websites. And my question is, are they that important? Seems like a silly question, but...
No, not at all. In fact, that's the first fundamental question that people ask when they're, startups like you guys is, do I need one or don't I? And a great question, actually. And the thing that the theory is, I always ask people, one of the first things, I said, get a business card, and all this and that, is get buyyour.com. I learned that early on, that I bought pattiserrano.com, and now everything, if you type that in, directs over to my YouTube channel. Rather than me have it direct over to a website, I personally now am promoting my podcast. So pattiserrano.com goes right over to YouTube. And today, this is live up on YouTube, so if there's anything anybody wants to see about me. So buyyour.com. Now, did you say you bought, Joyce, sunsetsouls.com?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You're good. And I'm going to answer your question, Sharon, now. Do you have a .com yet, Sharon?
I do not.
Okay. That's the first thing we got to do. Well, that's on our first, thing for starting a business is buyyour.com. And not .net, .biz, but .com.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
And now, here's the beauty of a .com. Let's say you want to, rather than you don't have time to set up a website, you want to just have your .com transfer over to Facebook or Instagram or somewhere where they can get your information. You don't necessarily have to have a website right now, but somewhere where it shows you're in business. See, so for me, I have pattiserrano.com going over to YouTube. I had it going to a website, but then there was, Facebook and Instagram and all this stuff that I had to keep up on. Whereas right now I'm just promoting my podcast. So my .com's going over there. So in Joyce's case, her sunsetsouls.com could go over to her Instagram page. When they type that in, they're going to get that. But it has a brick and mortar is what you want to think about. Because out there on the screen right now, that you're really just on the screen. But you want to have something like a portal, a portal to your business. So what does that look like? In your case, Sharon, you could have, when you buy your .com, you could, before you get a website, you could just have it go over to, your Facebook page or somewhere. But somewhere that shows people that you're in business. And even if you're a startup and you're just starting, like I'm treating Patti Serrano podcast as a startup. I've got, I don't have a brick and mortar or anything for that. So my .com's going right over to YouTube. And then I post my stuff on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all this stuff. But I'm kind of going along with all you guys right now because I'm only 2 months into this, and I can bring you all along with me and show you that. But the most important thing, in answer to your question now, is get the .com.
Yes.
And what did you decide what you want your .com to be?
I have not yet. I'm still playing with names.
Okay, well, that was what we'll do. We'll put that down as an idea think tank for next week, because those are fun when everybody throws out different, Yeah, we'll do an ideal think tank for your .com next week, and then you can go right over and buy it, and you'll be like, yes, it's only like $20. So you'll once you own your .com, you really are in business. Wouldn't you say, Joyce? You just really are in business.
Yes.
Whether it's directed somewhere.
I think that was part of picking a name. Was I went to the .com to make sure whatever I picked, somebody else wasn't already using for what I was doing too. So that'll help you find your name.
Yep. .com will tell you, like, there's somebody else Googling that or whatever, So, yes, great. All right. So I'm going to go through, I think this lesson is going to go really easy today because you guys are pretty rock star-ish. But this is the first lesson in my manual, and it's called a discovery session. And what that means is, lawyers will take their clients and go, okay, now we need to discover all the stuff. We don't want the opposing group to know anything. You need to tell us right now. So what I do with clients is I sit down in a discovery session and I ask them, there's certain things that we have to discover right now. And so the way I'm going to have you do it is you can do one of those big vision board pieces or a poster board or whatever. And you want to get, there's going to be 5 parts to it there. Okay. To this discovery of where you're going and where you're heading. And it can be on a poster board. So the first thing you do on that 5 parts is take the middle of it. What I normally will do, let's see if I can get a piece of paper here. What I normally will do is take that big poster board and fold it completely in half. So this is just a regular piece of paper, but pretend like this is a big white poster board. And I fold it in 4 pieces. And then there is the center. So in the center, we want, let me get, I'm sorry, I'm not prepared here. What we want is the center is going to be your cellular start of your business. That right in the middle of that crease is the center of your business. That's where you would write Sunset Soul. I would write PattiSerrano.com. Sharon will write her.com. So go ahead and get one. You can get them at Dollar Tree, whatever, and get a big whiteboard and write that name in the center. That is your grounding of your business by saying, now I'm going to start putting these little tentacles off of the cellular part of my business. And the way I discover, if I'm sitting with you and I discover what it is, the first question I would ask you is, what would you like to see happen with your business? Because a lot of people say, oh, I want 18 different clients. I want this, I want that. Well, no, let's be real. This is like a vision board. What do you want to see happen? In your case, you might say, Joyce, I want to have 4 craft fairs this year, or I want to be internationally famous, or whatever it is. You write, what is it you want to see happen? Because once you put that in motion and you say that, guess what? Then it's going to go in motion. It's now in motion. This is what I want to see happen. And everyone always says money. And when I'm doing discovery, everyone always says, "Oh, I want more money. I want more." No, 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 no. Money. We don't bring up money in any of my trainings. Because once you get started, well, you're going to start selling, and money is going to come. So we don't even have to bring it up, because this is how you get started, by taking this leap, by taking this step. So that's what it seems like everybody wants to say. So the next question I ask people, if you had a highly paid marketing manager, think about it. If you, Joyce, had a highly paid marketing manager right now sitting in front of you, and they offered their services for free. Ooh.
Yay.
Sounding familiar here? What would you ask them to do to help you promote and market your business? Think about it for a minute. Somebody that's a rock star in marketing is just offered their services for free. What would you ask them to do?
I I guess it's in the connections. If I was looking for physically, locally, maybe they could help me identify shops maybe that might be interested in carrying my items. And then once I have it online, have like an online store, then
Okay,
it would be more along with connecting me to outlets, maybe pockets of the population that they see would benefit or be interested in my creations.
perfect. That is a perfect answer. So, but what I got out of that, it was you wanted, and I looked at the two priorities. I put a line there. That's the tentacle off. I would ask a expert to show me how to get my product online right
Yes,
away. Let's get
yes,
this product online. And of course, that's going to be back to a portal where you can direct them. But let's get
yes,
your products online. So that's perfect. How about
yes.
you, Sharon? What would you ask a high paid marketing person?
Well, my first thing would be what can we do to get this business noticeable? And I would tie into what Joyce said. What are your connections? How can you personally help me get this done through your connections?
Got it. Well, that's perfect. That's so you want this marketing person to help you with uh, how to get connections. Like, would you buy these? Some of these companies will give you contact sheets, and these are all people that they've found are looking for decorating. They've got all kinds of sources that can get you to people. Or do you want to, hit the road running and do it, by yourself? So that's a good one. So just how are you going to get the context? You're out there in
Yes.
Arizona.
How do we get that initial bang going?
Okay, perfect. All right, so see, that would help me.
Yes.
I usually take an hour for this discovery session, but we're doing this real quickly today. So, but I got right out of the gate, I got what you guys really need, and as we continue forward now, I can help you after this first session of discovery. And then now the last thing as we go out, I want to just share with you part of this training, and it's something that you have to really digest. Maybe not today or whatever, but it's what I've come up with when people have asked me over the years, well, how did you do that? How did you get that? How did you accomplish that? Blah, blah, blah. What were the steps? And when I sat back and looked at like what were the steps, I said, well, this is more of like a method. It's a methodology. And so what I did was I started what's called the TAB method. It's TAB. And in the T, you have to think and really focus and pray and meditate on what is it you really want. Because a lot of people think they want this and they think they want that, but you have to really think about what it is you really want. Think about it. It might take a day, a week, a month, but what is it you really want? Think about that. Think about it when you're laying on the beach. Think about it when you're laying in your hammock. Think about it when you're watching the stars. Think about it. And what happens is as you think about all these things, they go in and they permeate within you, and you go, okay, I think I'm clear. I think I'm clear. I think that's, I mean, I can't even tell you if I had time to tell you all the businesses I sat there and thought about. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. With the Patti Serrano podcast right now, when I went into Tabith, I went, I want to not keep pushing everybody else out and promoting them. I want to promote myself. So when you see all this Patti Serrano stuff all over the place, I'm doing what I tell everybody else to do. I've thought about it. I decided I wanted to do it, and I'm pushing myself out. Okay, so that's the T. Well, what's the A, Patti? Well, the A is action steps. All right, you thought about what you want. So now I took the action steps. I said, okay, I got this page and that page, and I'm promoting this out there, and I'm posting on there. And today, instead of doing all the courtside stuff, since my video was out in California this week, I put it on all the RV lifestyle pages, and I put it on, RV groups and da-da-da-da, because most Joyce and Stacy were both RVing kind of ladies. They weren't in courtside. So I took the action step, action step, to do what it was to get that T. Does that make sense? Because I had to make it easy for people, because they kept asking me, well, how is it you do this? And I go, well, I think about it and then I act on it. Hello? If you don't act on it, if you sit on this for another year, guess what? Guess what you're going to get? Nothing. And that's what the next one, B, is. I firmly believe that if you do these first two things, think on it and act on it, you're going to be that what it is you want, or you're going to become that is what you say you're going to do. That is, I'm sorry, but that is the law of attraction. It's manifestation. It's all these things. But I just had to go back because so many people asked me how I did it. And so I came up with the TAB method. So think what it is you want this week, this month, whenever. Lay there. Or do you really want it? I mean, I've coached people like that too. They go, I don't know. I did one lady, she paid me $500. This discovery session cost $500. She paid me $500. We laid out 2 hours of her business, and she had 2 kids, and she went, excuse my language, she went, holy shit, I can't do this. She had thought what it is she wanted, but then when she laid it out, she goes, I can't do this with 2 kids right now. I said, okay, well, that's fine. Let's just call it even. She goes, no, you keep the money. You just opened up my mind to what I can do. So when you think when you decide you think what you want, you better be able to act on it. And don't be going, I'll giddy up, this is the year of the horse, I want to go. No. Think of it like maybe in steps. Maybe by 2006, I want it this way. Did I say 2006? 2020. I just corrected myself. See how far back I go? Yeah. So think about what it is you want this year. Let's talk about ideas for Sharon's.com next week. Let's think about what it is, where you want to take this thing, and be reasonable. And then we're going to do some proactive, active steps on how you can get there. And you know what? It works. Like I said, there were so many things I've done in my life where the TAB method works. So we'll come back and figure out what your action steps were this week, and then get ready. And I don't know, only God knows in the universe, but when you're going to become that. But sometimes people become that really fast. I think both of you know that, I thought my Bob Wells interview, I knew it was going to take my subscriber base up a little bit, but I thought it was going to happen in the summer. He told me it was coming out this summer. And what did he do? He released it right away in my first week of the Patti Serrano podcast, and my subscriber base went way up. So don't think that just because I'm saying I want my podcast to grow, it could grow at the rate it's supposed to grow within what you do, So anyway, I hope that helped. Is there any last comments you guys want to say before we close out today?
No, I appreciate everything. Thanks.
You do.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you both for joining me. And, this is this Friday thing that I'm doing it's my love, love, love. I love doing this. I love sharing these years of trainings that I have with you all. and hopefully we're going to see, if you take it to heart, hopefully we're going to see some growth, and we can sit back and go, dang, look at that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sharon, thank you for calling in. I certainly enjoy hearing your lovely Australian accent. And we'll
Thank
see
you for
y'all.
having me.
We'll see you all on the next live stream. Take care. Goodbye, Joyce.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.